Hello dear friends. You are watching the Buy a Yacht channel. Today we will talk about a super cool boat, which I left for sale back in Bulgaria. This is RIVA 44 RIVARAMA. Now let's see what it is. RIVA is one of the oldest colleges in Italy, with a special prestige and impeccable reputation. Several generations of the Italian RIVA shipbuilding dynasty took part in its development, in honor of the founder of which this brand acquired its name. Its history began in the middle of the 19th century, in 1842 year, when almost all fishing boats of the inhabitants of the lake settlement were destroyed on the lake Anzio due to a strong storm. And a young carpenter from a poor family, Pietro Riva, managed to consider his chance of success in the current situation. It was he who started repairing boats for fishermen and easily won fame as the best local shipwright. The money received was enough to open their own business. Thus began the story of climbing to the top of the grandiose recognition of the RIVA shipyard. Soon Pietro himself began to build boats, and then he was replaced by Ernest Riva's son. With him, Riva's boats got engines. After the First World War, Serafina Riva transformed the RIVA from a vehicle into vessels for sports and recreation. In the 1920s and 30s, RIVA, with the help of her racing boats, collected a large number of records. Over the years of the shipyard's existence, entire aristocratic dynasties of adherents of exclusively boats produced under this brand have even managed to arise. In 1969, Carl Lebo sold the shipyard to the American Whitaker Company and remained as director of the shipyard for another 2 years. The last representative of the family in the leadership was Gina Gervasoni, who left Vera in 1989. At the same time, the shipyard moved to the Vickers Group, and later became part of the Harity Group. The idea to build a floating resource for two came to the bright head of designer Riva Mauro Micheli just at the moment when other shipyards were thinking more about how to accommodate maximum passengers on a minimum of photos, practicing in an increasingly sophisticated cutting of space. Therefore, the first appearance of RIVARAMA in public in the 2002 year caused exactly the reaction that only a really broad gesture can provoke. What a luxurious waist! 44 feet and only one cabin, more precisely, not a cabin, but a real presidential suite, a boat for two, everyone else can wait on the shore. The RIVARAMA project originally belonged to the category of pure art. No mathematics and marketing research, just the idea in its original form. The most interesting thing is that this is exactly what it came to for customers. The phenomenon itself is quite rare. No one can afford not to think about sales. Therefore, even the most ingenious project is inevitably squeezed into the bed of consumer preferences. RIVARAMA remained unchanged. The shipyard accepted it without objection, despite the fact that the project did not fit into any concepts that existed on the market at that time. But she personified Riva's style and feeling. This is the word of Francesco Frediani, the sales director of the shipyard, a man who, according to his duty, is supposed to think more not about brilliant ideas, but about how to sell them. In this sense, there were no problems with RIVARAMA. But it became clear that the world-old thesis of demand forms supply should be thrown overboard. There was no demand for such boats before RIVARAMA at all. There were simply no such boats. RIVARAMA became an offer that could not be refused. 1950s were the years of Carl Riva, and the brand became synonymous with elegance and status. Lacquered mahogany surfaces warmed up the market. Then there was the twin-engine Triton, the Sabina series, then Florida. In November 1962, the main myth was born, Riva Aquarama, equipped with two Chris Craft motors of 185 horsepower. With its luxurious exterior, it accelerated to 40 knots, becoming the symbol of Riva excellence, a brand within a brand. In just a few years, Riva has filled the Côte d'Azur, displacing competitors. In 1969, the first fiberglass Riva Pahi Omar 20 from Sport Fisherman 25 appeared. The models were finished with wood. Despite the success with composite, the production of wooden Rivas continued until the 96th year. St. Tropez and Super America models. The RIVA model line includes Renobouts, sports and flybridge yachts, open cruise yachts, as well as super yachts in composite hulls with a length of 8 to 50 meters. The historic production area of 36,000 square meters is located on the same Lake Isle. The second construction base is new, 60,000 square meters, located in La Spezia. The concept of a boat for two, although in principle you can take a dozen people on board, initially required something special. Not just the famous Italian design, but its quintessence. The well-known concept of Mora Micheli sounds paradoxical, less is more. And if in detail, then we will achieve perfection if we can create a yacht with the help of two lines. Now look at RIVARAMA's profile. The trick was a success. Perfection has been achieved. Have you seen many yachts that take your breath away just by looking at them? This was the RIVA Aquama, recognized as the most beautiful yacht of the 20th century, but RIVARAMA surpassed her as well. The open cockpit is a timeless Mediterranean classic that even the most high-tech hardtops will never displace. Although the RIVA can do that, too, the sun-drenched deck is a textbook image of Dolce Vita, firmly imprinted in the memory of the cinema of the 50s and 60s, when men looked like men, and girls were not spoiled by funny swimsuits. However, RIVA is able to intertwine the archetypes of the collective unconscious with the latest technologies. What is the unique design of the Bimini awning, which is hidden in a niche along the windshield and is placed at the touch of a button? In the same way, you can remotely control a lot of other things, for example, a ladder and a hatch that opens access to the engine room. Magic is everywhere, in the smallest details, in every square centimeter of the finish. And so that nothing breaks the style, any shipyard boat is initially equipped with all accessories with the same legendary name RIVA. Everyone starts from such ordinary things as a towel, and ending with a champagne cooler. That is why it is impossible to fake a RIVA. At best, it will be something similar to. No more than that. The lower deck of the RIVARAMA is made in a single space and resembles a spacious studio, combining both the salon and the master cabin, where the bed is raised to a fairly high podium. Only 2 rooms are separated. This, of course, is a bathroom and also a cabin for the skipper. The last inhabitant is able to somewhat violate the concept of a boat for two, but it is in your power to fix it. For the purity of the experiment, learn how to control your boat yourself, especially since it is simply blasphemous to deny yourself the pleasure of taking the helm of a RIVARAMA. It's like buying a sports car and putting a driver behind the wheel. Let's talk about numbers. The RIVA theme is unique, which combines unthinkable luxury with a sporty character. And RIVARAMA is one of the most loaded boats of the shipyard. A cruise speed of 36 knots inspires respect, and a run at the maximum will make you change your mind not only about the world around you, but also about yourself. 41.5 knots. After all, RIVARAMA was created for personal pleasure. The RIVARAMA is an ideal yacht even for the most demanding owner. The model is available in many colors, from more traditional ones such as Rivo Rome and Not Blue to metallic shades such as chocolate, brown, gray sand and Atlantic blue, which is still a huge success. Technical characteristics of the boat. The maximum drainage is 13 and 4 meters, the width is 3 meters 88 centimeters, the draft is 1 meter and 3 centimeters, the displacement is 13 and 1/10 of a ton, the fuel tank capacity is 1,400 liters, the water tank capacity is 200. At the same time, the boat is equipped with 2 powerful MAN engines of 800 horsepower each. The cruising speed is 36 knots. RIVA is a legend and a synonym of style in yachting, and of such a level that even the sailing community, passing motor yachts with soap dishes, treats RIVA boats with respect. However, now this applies more to the old RIVA, the rarest of which have become auction jewels. Despite the fact that RIVA's traditions and heritage are treated very carefully, in the yachting world, RIVA and Ferretti RIVA are still distinguished. RIVA is a truly legendary brand, whose invariable synonyms are luxury, prestige and elite selectivity. The modern line of manufactured models includes luxury boats, luxury super mega yachts, sports and executive boats. In the 2003 year, the shipyard had a new factory, the production sites of which provided the opportunity to create yachts over 65 feet long. The boats of this shipyard repeatedly flash in the cinema, leaving their mark in many movie theaters. The perfection of every detail, exclusive materials that allow you to create a stylish, luxurious and at the same time elegant design in the best Italian traditions. All these are invariable features of each model of this shipyard, which is a true art of shipbuilding. Here the refined classics and the most innovative technologies and solutions are combined in the most successful way. In Italy, they know a lot about shipbuilding near RIVA, a shipyard that has no equal not only in this European country, but all over the world. For a long time, she confidently dictates fashion trends, remaining an unchanged style icon in the field of elite yacht building. Verdict: classics are tested by time. Innovation in the future. To unite them today is the task of a worthy master. That's how the legend is born.